Well, David, that was a very interesting game. It has to be said, first of all, you wondered whether it'd be 4 or 5 Mansfield goals after they got the first two, but then the game suddenly changed. Why do you think that was?
At the end of the day, with all due respect, they're playing against a team that they're hard to beat, and we started off brilliantly. So you have to manage that. You have to look after the 2-0 victory, and we were certain to, they've got in the game from a free goal, but I didn't think they troubled us.
At 2-0, you hit the crossbar. Do you think that perhaps might have been the moment when they thought that's as low as they could go, and maybe suddenly that gave them something to come back?
Well, perhaps, but otherwise you have to deal with that. And we were well in control. It was a brilliant start for us. Delighted, that's what we asked for, and the game was put to bed there. But let's say the freak goal at the end, it gives them a lifeline. But I was very pleased with this victory.
It was an absolute freak goal as well. But I mean, looking at the performance again today, one thing you are getting from your players is dig and dig deep.
Any team worth its salts and any team that represents me will have to be that way, and I demand it from my players, I demand it for this football club, and I thought that they really battled intensely today. Give credit to Eastbourne, they threw a lot at us, but other than the goal, which was, as I say, it was an opportunity that came from nothing, I don't think they really tested us.
That takes you on to 32 points from 17, 15 out of the last 18. Certainly on point scoring and goal scoring, that is looking like promotion form. Happy with that at the moment, but still more to be done, you'd say?
Yeah, I demand more. Of course, I demand more. I want to be the best. I want to achieve things, and we'll do that maintaining this type of standards and maintaining this type of form. Form's excellent, isn't it?
A bit of claret coming from the eye of Luke Jones late on. Before that, more worrying perhaps for a second was the fact that Paul Heckingbottom was down. He's gone out to sort of warm down afterwards. What's the latest on that injury?
Well, you can see what they're trying to do here. I respect this football club. I've got a lot of time for the people here, and they've put the vertige range in, and we have a similar problem at our training ground where you're trying to improve things, but the sea air obviously dries it up very quickly, and he just turned his ankle on one of the divots there, and again, I think Duffy did the same. The undulations, testing it.
Chance to forget about the league for a week and go on to the match against our old friends Altrincham. Your manager, your favourite manager, and my favourite manager.
Don't you blame me?
My favourite manager as well. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, again, we have to assess the injuries now, and obviously we certainly it's FA Cup. It's what the children dreams of, isn't it? FA Cup. It's fantastic.
Finally, a word on your players today at the end of this game. Winning by 2-1.
It's fantastic. We know it's been a long journey. We prepared correctly, which is I expect. I'm delighted to go home with the 3 points.
Thank you, David Holdsworth. So, that's David's thoughts.
Well, David, it's a second successive away win, and it's a second successive away win that started so brightly and been quite tense by the end.
I didn't feel. I understand what you mean. I felt certainly Altrincham, when they're throwing the kitchen sink at you. But other than the freak goal, let's face it, it was a freak goal. They haven't had a shot in the second half. They've battled, they've worked. So did my players. We underestimate that sometimes. We look for other people's strengths. Our strengths today, we've come away from home and they dominated the first half an hour, 25-30 minutes. And they're a big physical team, and you have to deal with it. I like the number 9 here. I think he's a good player. But likewise, I felt that we were strong in departments where our pace was good, and our finishing was exemplary in the first half, wasn't it?
It was very different the second half, wasn't it, to the first? The first half you created all those chances, and the second half totally different.
Well, you've got something to protect. And obviously, I still felt we could score another goal, and we said that at half time. I gave my 3 centre forwards a bit of a rollicking at half time, in a constructive way, of course, because I didn't think they were, even though they'd started to brighten, I still felt they could do more. And I felt Duffers played a very good part today, and everybody played their role. So there was nobody that I felt stood out. There was a good team ethic.
And interesting with those 3 strikers moving around, causing all sorts of problems. Yeah. I mean, you'd got 2 goals from them early on, and then Jake Spates hit the bar. They all looked hungry to kind of prove.
And I bet you lads were in there thinking that the game would have been over then at 3, and yeah, of course it was. But again, he had a chance didn't he, against Forest Green like that, and the same thing's happened here. We have to work on his head in this week. But I'm delighted with the win, of course we are.
Yeah, it is 5 wins out of 6 for you now as well. It's a terrific run you're on, isn't it, at the minute?
No, I don't know. I'm not worried. I think. I don't go too high, I don't go too low, and keep positive, we keep working hard, and once again we had a fantastic following, didn't we?
Yeah. It is those 2 successive away wins, and you know how much I've been banging on about away
You've been driving me up the wall.
But you've won the last 2 away games now. Yeah. How pleasing has that been for you? Out of that week, these two trips, and you got 6 points.
That's all we can ask for. We want to win every match. When we don't perform, we haven't performed in 2 games. 2 games at Barrow and Kidderminster. other than that, we've been very consistent. And the form that we're in at the moment, we're scoring goals, we're nice and tight. I thought Luke Jones played a good role today, having been away. I felt certainly Paul Heckingbottom's inclusion now. This is why I brought him into the football club, and he settles people down, and his experience in the dressing room is just as well as it is on the pitch. He's a pleasure to have at the club, I must say that.
And terrific to have Luke Jones playing in there when he wasn't fully fit as well and doing a job at
Well, we've been
centre-half.
working hard on rehabilitation, of course we do, and it means that our standards when players come back into the side, that they're at a level. We know what their body fats are, we know what levels they're training at, and Luke, as I said, in the week, he's a pro, he's a good man, I think the world of him as a person, and I thought his battling qualities today were excellent, and Scott Garner had a very solid game. As I say, I like the number 9 here. Atkin, he's a good player, and he's a handful, and he makes it hard for defenders. But I say, I appreciate everybody at Eastbourne. I think it's a good club here. I like this place.
You have this thing in this division where you have loads and loads of league games at the start of the season, and it ends up sort of breaking up a little bit with cup games in between. You've got this little break, if you like, now with a cup game next week. How happy are you that after those 16 matches or so, you're sitting 4th in the league?
Delighted. We've accumulated a large amount of points, and we've only had 2 games where we've not really achieved what we wanted to. So I think the standard's very good. I think that we're doing very well, but likewise we won't take our finger off the pulse. But yeah, you seem to play loads of games, don't you? And then all of a sudden I might get a couple of days away now. It might be nice.
Great stuff. Thanks a lot.
Pleasure. Super.
David, I mean, it must be great to have the 2 strikers who's scoring goals for fun and kind of competing against each other to be top scorer all the time. That must egg them on, really.
Well, say it again, is that I allowed Darryl to go on loan for a reason. Is that the emergence of Duffy, the emergence of Carl Perry, Jake Spate, Briscoe, Ryan Williams, Sturrock. I've got a healthy complement of strikers. I've just brought the boy Dobson in, and I thought he was very, very lively when he went on. But yeah, last year we didn't have enough goals in the team, did we? And I still feel that we can expect more from Ryan Williams. I feel we can still expect more from our midfield players. But I'm being critical, and I don't, I'm not. It's not critical in a bad way. It's an observation. Is that we need to have a complement of goals in the team. But the 2 big boys up top are doing great for us.
How are we looking injury-wise? Because one or two staying down there, holding the legs.
Well, I mean, I think as you said prior to this, is that the improvements they've made here, by putting the vertidrains in after it was in a disgusting way last year, wasn't it? And they've tried to improve it, but it does have an effect because the ground's uneven at certain parts. And I think Duffers over there went down on it, and as did Paul Heckingbottom. And it's no fault of Eastbourne's at the end of the day. It's the pitch. They're trying to improve it, and it takes time. But the sea air has actually dried the pitch out. It's very hard.
How are the lads? Is anybody
Well, we'll
looking
find out. No, I mean, obviously Jonah's got a slight nick. So he's a centre half. He's all right. But Duffers is your man. He might. I hope he hasn't tweaked his ligaments, because that would put him in a doubt. Certainly a doubt for next week. Louis Briscoe will assess tomorrow morning, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's not easy when you keep getting these injuries. It's testing him, but we're doing all right with it.
With regard to Carl Nicks, you've had a chance to have a look at him now after.
He had Sherman Clumpfoot. That's what he had. He did. He had a Sherman Clumpfoot. He massively was. So he may have a scan on Tuesday.
Right.
Obviously, we just hope that it's another one that you don't lose because of the training ground. It's not good enough. Really.
Is he going to be struggling for?
Yeah, without a doubt. I can't see him. If it's as bad as we feel, obviously he might be out for a month.
Yeah. Will the fish and chips up tonight then?
Yeah, we've ordered the fish and chips, the mushy peas and the curry sauce. So we'll have a cup of coffee with it. Would be all right. Warm us up.
Lovely. Thank you.
Right, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Well done, Dave.